It is in the nature of many to lament when offered lemons by life, but David Okoth, a first-class honors graduate in community development, chose to make lemonade out of his lemons that has resulted in transforming the lives of those around him.
Maybe, born here, bred here in KOROGOCHO, and also went to school within the environment of KOROGOCHO. That was, I was some years back, I was in Babadogo Primary School. Then from Babadogo, I studied the 8 years schooling, which was, I did my KCP there. Then I went to high school. I went to Kamkunji Secondary School. Then from Kamkunji Secondary School, I went to a college called Temple College, where I studied community development and social work. From there, I did not stop there because I had that knack for education. I went to St. Paul's University, where I studied community development. I majored in that, in community development. And from St. Paul's, I also performed well. I had a first-class honors. Yeah. And from there, still, education was, still had that sort of like the thirst for continuing to read more and to learn more about the field that I'm into. And from there, I also did my master's in development studies. And I wanted to sort of like just to focus on issues to do with community and how the community can be developed. And because the world that we live today is all about development. And you cannot build something if you don't have enough experience. So I thought to myself, the time that I have in this world, why can't I go back to school and major on the field that I have passion on? So I studied development studies. From there, I also continue with the program that I am into now. Living in KOROGOCHO is very hectic, and it was a mighty rough road. And sharing the experiences and the challenges that we had back then. At least now KOROGOCHO has improved through the efforts that people like us and people who care the most about the community. We've done a lot of work together with the relevant authorities, especially the Catholic Church. And now KOROGOCHO is a place that we can call home. We can confidently say that this is our home, a place that is safer. Back then, KOROGOCHO wasn't safe. Even walking along the streets, you are walking, but you always in a sort of like worried, very afraid. You're looking back. Behind you, you cannot walk like go like more than 7 steps without looking back, because you're afraid. You don't know who is following you. You don't know whether maybe you're the next target. So KOROGOCHO back then was very insecure.
He is fostering advocacy and human rights protection through his organization and the various other community outreach programs that he is involved in.
My journey working with the community started way back in 2001. And the way I ventured into working in the community is to some people might sound funny, but to others it would sound like more inspiring, in a sense that first used to work with a company called Unilever. I was a line person working in the quality control sort of like department, looking at how the labeling, how the product have been sort of like packaged. So after that, I lost my job and I had to come back into the community and start now job hunting. And in the process, when I had nothing to do, I had no source of income, and asked myself, what else can I do? I'm still young, and I also felt like I was also resourceful. So And I was also involved in some activities with my church, the Kariobangi Catholic Church. And I thought to myself, now that Kariobangi Catholic Church has so many programs, and through the program, I chose to now to go to this program that is looking after the sick people. They had a small facility that used to go around the village of Korogocho and Kariobangi to look for people who had different sickness and or complications, especially touching on the TB, because those days TB was the dangerous disease and people were dreaded TB because a lot of it was connected with when somebody is suffering from TB, certain percentage, a large chunk of it was connected with HIV and AIDS. So people feared anything to do with TB. So I got into the church and went to that program. So we were walking through all over Kariobangi and Korogosho, caring for such people. So through the process of working in this program is where I landed to a person, or I bumped into a person who was working in the deep down in Korogosho in the daycare centers. And by that time, they were looking for village supervisors. And we spoke with them, and they told me, if you want a job, we cannot give you this job here in the streets. You need to come to our offices. So that day when we were talking, it was on a Sunday. So Monday, first thing in the morning, I was in the office. And I spoke with them, just telling stories about who you are, your background, and why you want that job. Little did I know that I was being interviewed. After that, they told me, maybe you come next week. Now we'll slot you in for an interview. Then next week came, and I went there. And sitting there, I was waiting to be interviewed. But they told me, like, maybe there's a certain activity here we want you to do, or to help us in doing it. So I helped do that activity. After, it was going toward the evening, and they told me, now we will not interview you today, just come tomorrow, then we'll see what to do, whether to interview you or tell you what to do next. Tomorrow, I came back, and I wasn't interviewed. I was told, you're still waiting for an interview. We finished with you a long time ago. We had interviewed you, and we've hired you. Now you are one of the village supervisors. So my journey in this field, especially working for the children, started then. That was in 2002, 2003. So all through, I've been in this field. My key areas of interest are on child protection. And you see, even you looking at my profile, you see a lot of stuff geared towards the rights of the child. And you should pegging that with the issues of human rights, and also advocacy, the campaigns and advocacy through the same work. So basically, I'm also working with the children. Also, they need mentorship, and you need to guide them through the processes and also give them the right information on how to move from one direction to another, because we need to live positively.
Okay, mimi ni mkaji wa Kariobangi. In fact, nimezaliwa hapa Kariobangi, nimelelewa hapa Kariobangi. Sababu kama kitu nafundishana hapa, ni kitu mimi sikuwa najua, imenifaidi. Wakati nilikuwa nacheza boxing, nimechezea vilabu 3, kuna ilikuwa inajiita Stagecoach. Kulikuwa na LCC, bado inaendelea Nairobi City County. na kuna club ingine ilikuwa huko Mombasa inajiita Two Fishes. Imenisaidia sababu nimejua kitu sikuwa najua. Sasa hata kitu nafundisha hapa saa hii ni ile knowledge nilipata na share pia na wao vijana. At least unaona kama sasa hivi wamefunga shule, ukiwaweka busy na kuna wale wako idols, unapata wengi wale wako idols wanakuja wanajipata kwa mengia kwa group mbaya, but at least hawa niko nao hapa, hata at least wale wazazi wanajua niko nao wanafurahi, sababu wanajua watoto wao wako pale, kuna kitu wanajifunza na wako pale wako safe pia. As a friend, mimi siogopi kwenda kwake sababu ni mtu tumelelewa na yeye. Naenda namwambia shida. At least hata kuna mavijana hapa wanamjua sababu mimi siwafichagi, mnaambia mtu fulani na fulani ndio ametusaidia na hajaichoka. Ona, si ati apata sababu ananijua. Hapa Kariobangi ukitaka kupata David, kuja Kariobangi utampata. Sababu huku ndio amelelewa na hata kama Mungu amemuinua hajaisahau kule ametoka. Na it's not about sisi peke yetu, ati sababu ananijua. Kuna mafootballer hapa nje pia anawasaidia. Yeye ametusaidia na kila njia. Ona, tukiwa na game ndaenda niambie nini, hatuna fare kitu kama hii. Atakuja angalia hapa ndani atuhesabu one hao vijana wako wangapi, atatolea fare, atatutolea pesa kama ya lunch. Na kubuka game huwa ina run kama siku 4. Ikienda sana ni siku 4, 3 ama 4. Ona. So David ametuinua na nashukuru. Kuna pale mimi siwezi nini isipokuwa ni ile kumuombea Mungu. Sababu kuna kitu moja mtu ameumbwa nayo. Kuna kitu huwezi jifunza, ni kitu iko ndani yako. Ukarimu. Ukarimu huwezi fundisha mtu. Ukarimu umezaliwa nao. Ni kitu iko ndani yako. Because kuna watu mabilionea huko, but hawakujaliwa na ukarimu ya kukumbuka pale ametoka. Mimi simuiti rich. Simuiti rich ati sababu naona ako na nini, ako na gari pano. Sababu kuna wale rich men, but ashe na mtu kitu yote. But yeye ile kidogo ako nayo, amekuja back kwa community kule alitoka, kule alilelewa. Sababu nikisema about David, ana mandugu wengine. Na kati yao mandugu wote, mimi mtu ndapongeza, sio David, ndapongeza wazazi wao. Kwa si wazazi wao ndio pengine wamewafundisha hiyo kitu, kumbuka pale umetoka. Kwa sababu mandugu wote watakuja, hawakai Kariobangi, but hawakosi Kariobangi kila wakati. Ni sawa tu na ile vile tulikuwa jirani na yeye hapa. Ni kama bado yeye ujirani, hata kama anakaa mbali kidogo but anakumbuka hapa.
Namjua kama David. Yeye ndo amekuwa akitusaidia. Hadi hiyo game yenye nilicheza hatukukuwa na fare, lakini akatuprovidea. Ningependa tu kumwambia asante kutupromote na kutuprovide pia vitu. Ametuletea gloves. Hapa kuna gloves ametuletea.
While there are many factors that cause for motivation, money included, David's is all about making the world a better place.
We carry activities on community outreach. That is about taking care of the elderly and the sickly people in the community. We have, within our committee, we have members who are community volunteer promoters. Back then, they used to be called community health workers. But with the change of times, you also have to change also, you modify your activities, you be more innovative. So they are nowadays called community health promoters. So through those people, we normally visit those people in the community under the community outreach program. Also at the same level, we also identify cases of HIV and AIDS within the community, especially focusing on the children. And when we get such cases, we connect them with the local dispensaries where they get to be cared for and given the necessary treatment. Again, we talk with the parents in terms of issues of sensitizing them on the importance of education of their children, especially the girl child. But on the same level, we are not sort of like forgetting the boy child, because a lot of attention has been girl child. Everything is girl child. So we are wondering, tomorrow this boy child is going to be marginalized, is going to be forgotten. So also we are focusing on that also. All the genders across the board are taken care of in the program. We found that there's so many programs within Kenya that are so much girl child oriented. You'll find that a girl child maybe is gone through school from class 1 to class 8. Maybe she drops there. There's some activities that are also waiting for her along the way. Like maybe there's some short courses. She'll be taken to hairdressing. She'll be taken to do some other activities. But the boy child, once you drop at class 8, that's it. So what is remaining for them? They look for an alternative, and that is mugging. They get into activities which are very insecure. And once the society is very insecure, no jobs for the boy child. What do you expect? It will be chaotic. Yeah. So we are looking at ways in which we can focus our attention on the boy child. We run a program called home-based daycare centers, which to some quarters is referred to preschool. This is a concept that children are brought in one place, maybe a home of one of the selected daycare mothers. At some quarters, they're referred to as teacher. So, because they start the process of nurturing this child from that tender age, because we pick children from 0 to 6 years, because the parents in their villages, they have a lot of challenges, and they need to also to put food on the table. So they are always out, and they don't have any person who can be trusted to look after these children. So the concept is about that. Children are brought into the center, and there's somebody, a caregiver sort of, who will get involved in taking care of this child, and the parents go out to look for sort of like to forage for income generating activities. We work through the processes with we have a village committee, people who live within the community. They are the ones who know these families, especially the vulnerable families, so they select them. And also through training, we've trained these daycare mothers on issues to do with early childhood education and development. So they're charged with the issues of caring for the children. So the parents also in the village know that there's a person somewhere who is well trained and well equipped to look after our children and take care of them in a more conducive environment. So they bring them there. So we normally get to identify them through the village committees.
Mi ni project coordinator wa CYEN. Mi huwa natembelea daycare centers zetu, tuko na daycares 30. Huwa nazitembelea kila siku, na kila mwezi pia tuko na uji, unga ya uji na sukari tunawaletea, at least wapike watoto. Hizi daycare centers zetu ni za hapa KOROGOCHO, na watoto walio hapa ni watoto wanatoka kwa hizi families ziko chini. So at least tunapata mtoto alilala kwao hajakunywa hata uji, hajapata hata chakula, analetwa daycare na njaa. So CYEN tulikama up na hii idea ya kutembelea hizi vulnerable daycare centers na daycare mothers. Tunawaletea unga ya uji na sukari, wanapikia watoto uji. At least wale walitoka kwa nyumba wakiwa na njaa hawezi pata hata chakula. Wakipata hiyo uji na iko na nutrients ndani yake, inaweza wasaidia. The second thing, mimi kama Lucy, mimi ni mkaji wa KOROGOCHO, mimi ni community health promoter. Kila month nakuja, niko na mock tape, natembea na zinc, natembelea watoto. Mali watoto wako easy toys wanachezea, most of the times zinapata uchafu. So unapata mtoto anashikwa na infection ama kuhara. Nitashughulikia huo mtoto kama community health promoters, au watoto waweze kusaidika. Mtoto isikwe anakimbizwa hospitali juu ya kuhara. So nitatembea na zinc na ORS na pewa limu Kitu cha pili pia, nikipata mtoto hajapelekwa clinic, mama yake yuko busy ile hali ya kutafuta, pia nitachukua hiyo jukumu ya kuchukua huyu mtoto kama health promoter, nimpeleke kwa facility yetu iko hapa Korogocho, waende wakasaidike kwa clinic. So unapata tunapunguza zile risk ya magonjwa kama cholera na magonjwa zingine zisizofaa za kuhara. Hiyo ndio kitu nafanya kama kuzunguka kama coordinator hapa.
It is true that challenges are part and parcel of any initiative, but how to overcome is what matters.
Yeah, along this journey, I've encountered a lot of challenges, and mostly based on issues to do with funding. And sourcing for funding is very difficult world over, and even to the government also. You see the issues of taxes now, and now imagine a small program like us, like ours. So we are grappling with issues of finances. Funding is not coming by. So that is the major challenge. And currently we're working with different, us as individuals, we are putting our resources together to see that we can implement the running of the daycare centers. There's porridge there for the children, the well-balanced one. It needs money, and we don't have that money. So sometimes we put our act together, we contribute a small amount here and there from the managing committee to be able to support that. We also have mattresses in the centers for the children to sleep on. We don't, also that one require money, mats also. We also need some other centers need some stationaries to write and also for the children to read. We don't have that fund, the money to do that. So largely finance is the most important, the most challenge that we have. Also, there is the issues of tackling insecurity. There are no jobs. The youth that we're churning out every day from our education institutions, they're out there in the streets. They have no jobs. So most of them tend to get into the streets and become, maybe, for lack of a better word, they are robbing people. So our streets are very insecure, especially Korogocho. The issues of food. Lots of families, they don't have enough income. So getting food is also a challenge. A lot of things do motivate me. And one of them is I have a very strong team behind me. I don't work in isolation. I don't work only as David. And the people that I work with are so much involved, and they are committed at what they do. They're giving me all the information that is required in terms of coming with different ideas and information on how we can move this program or this organization forward to another level.
The future is bright for David and his fellows as they continue to keep the fire burning and partake in the community's welfare.
To describe CEO David OKETCH kama mkaji wa Korogocho mwenye come up na ideas za kusaidia youths na watoto walio chini. Early childhood anasaidia, so mtu yeye ana grow up akijua tunataka kuchange coach. Nataka hii coach in future au watoto tuna build up kuanzia chini. Wakuje wa change coach kwa ina perspective hakuna wizi, imechange to slum imekuwa estate. Cause tukianza chini tutai build up ikwe kitu ya maana. Mtu yeye nikigrow up nikimwambia tunafaa kuchange coach, atakuja asome amalize, tupate ma CEO, tupate ma radio presenters, TV presenter, tutapata watu wengi through hii change tuda implement.
My end goal, I want to see a changed world, a changed Korogocho, a community that everybody is participating in their day-to-day activities. There's participation, everybody is involved, and everybody is doing the bit that is doing.
Na feel poa cause ni organization nimeijua tangu totoni, imenisaidia kwa education yangu. Wamekuwa with a helping hand hapa Korogocho, kama mimi mtu wa coach, imenisaidia, nimemaliza shule, nimekuwa daycare mother, sasa tena imenipromote, nimekuwa coordinator. So na hope monta kwa more and more na tuta change coach tukiwa na CYEN Korogocho.
One of the renowned actors, Denzel Washington, used to say, he speaks passionately about dreams connected with goals. And if your dreams are not connected with goals, then they'll remain just dreams. So if your dreams are not connected with goals, ultimately you're going to fail. So he's talking about goals that are very much oriented with your dreams. So, and he says for you to succeed, you have to have discipline. You have to be disciplined, you have to be committed. Because he's saying that you have to be committed and consistent. Yeah, and also he's saying that if you're not committed, you'll fail. But for you to succeed, you have to have consistency. And that's what I stand for. Through this journey, I've been committed in everything that I do. And I believe that if I was only just committed and not having that consistency, I don't think Children and Youth Empowerment Organization or network would have been at this point that we've reached. So it's all about commitment and consistency. So that's what I'll urge anybody viewing us or anybody following us. You have to be committed and consistent and gear all your dreams with your goals.